all the qualities of greatness, both in his background as well as his history. He was the most humble individual that you will ever meet. And he came and worked with us, and we had no conflicts, no problem. Preparing this year's gospel experience was truly a joy and a delight. It's really good to see a man that has class. It's good to see a man that the Lord has blessed with a gift. But the man you can still go up to and touch him and say, "How you doing, man?" So I just want to say that I thank Mr. Smallwood. We had some trouble earlier, but in terms of his contract and the university, but I was a little upset at it at first, but I just sort of thank God now for all that trouble. And I hope that next year at our third gospel experience, the Lord is really blessing us. As you see, we have a huge choir here. And I hope at our next year's gospel experience we can bring Mr. Smallwood back, and we're going to try also if the Lord is willing and we're able to raise some money, we're going to also try to bring Thomas Woodfield and Take Six as well next year. And you know, we've really grown because I remember the time when we could only get people local to sing. Now we're flying them in from across the world. Okay, I just once again thank all the musicians. I'm going to tell them, I'll tell them later. And I want to thank all the concert announcers, the people. We didn't really have the chance to get together and rehearse, but you know, we all made mistakes. I made mistakes, and I want to thank them for making the mistakes, but keep going on and helping us to promote gospel music at UC Berkeley. I want to thank the First Presbyterian Church. It is not often that for black gospel musicians that we get a chance to perform in a building this fine, and we owe reverence and honor to Reverend Earl Palmer and the congregation here at First Presbyterian for allowing us to use the facilities. Because when we first started, there were some churches in the Bay Area that we tried to do some concerts with around the campus, the college community, and I know one lady in particular, I said, and I'm the director of the gospel choir, and she said, "The gospel who?" And we couldn't get in the church, but we've been using this church now for the last 4 years, and they've always been gracious, and they've had a pleasant spirit in allowing us to use it. And I want to thank the minister as well as the congregation here for that. Finally, I want to thank all of our guest participants, Fishes of Men, Brethren, and the group that was named after my dear mentor, Mrs. Stevens. And finally, I also want to thank you, the audience, because this year's concert, as well as the one we had last year, would not have been a success unless you were here yourself. I thank you for purchasing the tickets. Your ticket sales will allow us to start the beginning of next year, hopefully with around $3,000. Is that Tony? Is Tony Pasquale here? I guess he left. That was my supervisor. I was trying to introduce you to him. Okay. Our closing remarks will come from the Dr. J.N. Patterson, who is the pastor of the Church of the Good Shepherd Baptist. Would everyone stand, please?
I don't plan to hold you long. Silvester serves at the church where I pastor. Part of our task there is to help define human personhood, to help discover what is the meaning of life, to experience something of its joy and something of its blessings. There ought to be a place, it seems to me, in a university where these dimensions are lifted up, where young people may discover who they are and what is the ultimate meaning of life. You have come this evening to experience and appreciate an art form. They call it